So as I stood at the base of this glacier that they call Mount Rainier, I decided that was probably the worst 40th birthday decision that I've ever made in my life. It wasn't so bad until I heard the group go around and they asked, what do you do? What's your experience? People climbed Denali, people had been to K2, people were ice climbers, people had done everything. And then when they come back around to me, they said, well, what have you done? I said, well, first I'm afraid of heights. And then the eyes got big around me because we were in a group. And then I said, well, everybody else's experience is so amazing, I'm going to go with 0. Is that the lowest level? Like, I've never climbed any mountain. I've never climbed anything at all. 0 work? One person laughed out of the group. But it was true. It was level 0. So here I am, afraid of heights. Here I am, never climbed a mountain, and I'm staring at the highest glacier in the lower 48. Good choice, Dave. And you know, I tell this story all the time, and people ask, how was the view? How was the summit? Didn't it look great? Wasn't it amazing? And I always have to say yes. It was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. There's Mount Hood in the background. There's the blue skies. There's the sun reflecting off my sunglasses. But that's not a great story. It's not a good story at all. In fact, everybody wants to talk about that story, and I don't tell them. The great story is what happens on the way down. This is life, isn't it? Everybody has such amazing moments, and we're also in social media. Everybody's lives are perfect, aren't they?
I hate that.
Well, I didn't show any bad pictures either, because most people wouldn't be friends anymore. So I showed the pictures of the summit, and everybody loved those. On the way down, though, that's when it started to happen. That's what people don't know what's going to happen to you. And the first thing that happened to me is I stopped really hard, and both my big toenails fell off. In case you don't know what that feels like for the others that didn't say ooh, it's like somebody taking a pair of pliers and pulling them off quickly. Not slowly. That's called torture. I chose this, so that's a little different. I pulled them off quickly. They're inside my socks. That's the first move. Again, bad decision. As I continue on, nobody tells you, when you're from Texas, you guys know this, there's no snow in Texas, there's no glaciers to train on in Texas, but when the sun comes up on top of the mountain, it gets hot, like Texas hot. And no one tells you that you got to take off all these layers because you just went from 15 degrees to 70 degrees in minutes. Thank you, guides, for not telling me that moment. I started to sweat profusely. I started to lose. We stopped, and the next thing I know, I'm throwing off clothes, getting everything into the bag, trying to just stop sweating. It was already too late. Here's another moment where I want you guys to start thinking about how painful it was. That you ever wake up at night and you grab your leg because you had too much exercise that day and you get that cramp, the kind that makes you scream? Yep. So that happened to me over 15 times while jumping over crevasses. Oh, not just small ones, but these ones where, you know, there's 1,000-foot drops, and my leg was cramping like that, jumping over. So that was interesting. It's not over yet. So if you're grabbing your legs and you're thinking about your toenails, there's one more move here for you. My left quad stopped working. Have you ever had a leg stop working? You had a hard workout with legs, and they just stopped working at all? That's what happened. I fell over 100 times that time, from 12,000 feet down to the base camp at 5,400 feet, over and over again. So what I want to say to you is, what are you going to do in that face of adversity? I'll tell you what I did. I smiled. I told jokes to the guides, and I just remember one thing, that the day can't go on forever. It just can't. The day cannot go on forever. And so if you ever find yourself, toenails are off, legs cramping, legs not working, just remember that. The day can't go on forever. I'll take the beauty of the summit sometimes, but I'll take that pain from the side of the mountain over that any moment. Because what I know is in that moment, it only takes me one step at a time. Thank you.